Hey everybody, Beyond Drew TV here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Thorton Hills Zoo. In today's episode, we have a few things to tackle there, a little bit less than the first episode, but still a lot of significant things. The first of which is going to be our first animal that we're putting in there. So as you can see, we're building our first habitat here, and it's going to be a habitat for the flamingos. I've mentioned this, I think, in like Zoo Tycoon videos and just other past videos that I've done, but it seems like every single zoo that I've either been to or have like researched or something like that or looked into, they all have flamingos at the very start of the zoo. So I figure we have to do that as well at Green Hills Zoo. It won't be a real zoo unless we have flamingos. So of course, there we are. Here's our flamingo habitat there. So as you can see, we're using knoll fencing for pretty much the entire thing, and that's going to be a theme for my builds. A lot of them are going to pretty much be either the knoll fencing, I'll use some of the glass fencing, but a lot of the kind of themed up kind of fencing that they have, or just concrete and stuff like that, I probably won't use too much, and I'll probably resort to using my own custom walls if I can and stuff like that. So there you go. But this is all themed after the San Diego Zoo flamingo habitat there, and I really like the idea of these fences that kind of lean in like that. You kind of seen those a lot, and we have these fences in game that already kind of work, so I just kind of used the in-game fence and kind of duplicated it and brought it in just a little bit, and there you go. It kind of gives that same effect off for it. So yeah, using that, and again using the San Diego Zoo model for the flamingo habitat here, and so we kind of use this concrete backing as the back of the barrier there, but we kind of gussy it up a little bit. And it worked pretty well with the flamingos there because their habitat likes to use a lot of the bamboo and really kind of lush tropical plants. So yeah, again, I noticed that in the concept art, or the Google image that I was looking at, that they kind of use again this really rough concrete backing for the back of the exhibit where no guests were going to be looking or anything like that. But again, they kind of covered it up with almost a jungle kind of scene with a lot of bamboo and tropical plants and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do there. So it kind of looks really ugly right now. That was the whole point I was getting to. It looks really ugly and kind of right now, but eventually we're gonna kind of cover it up and put a lot of foliage in here and make it look really nice. And something else I wanted to tackle with it, and something I really liked from the San Diego Zoo images and everything like that, was the idea of this main little central island and then little areas where they could kind of walk in between these little, like, I guess, canals and stuff like that. So it's really neat. They do it does work, so all the flamingos can walk around. We'll take a look at that in just a little bit, so you can see them in real time and stuff like that. But yeah, it does work with that. So, and then here we're laying down, these are supposed to be like almost like a concrete barrier. I used I think it was the Asian plank, just because it was recolorable and kind of looked a little bit like concrete there. Kept the align to surface on for the most part for the options there, and just kind of went through and had to do minimal work, just kind of placing it around to kind of encase the lagoon area here. So yeah, there you go, you can kind of see it start to come together there. So there was just to mention, there was another part to this video, and you can kind of see a building in the background there that I haven't really talked about. That's because that building does not exist anymore. There wasn't a whole nother half to this video that I cut out because it did include the building of, there it is, that building right there. And just the more I was building on it, the more I just was not really liking it. I was going in ready to do episode 3 and everything like that, and I just was looking at it and it just was not really vibing with me. So I got rid of it. I just straight up deleted the whole thing, and I've been spending the last little bit kind of building a new building in a new little area that we're going to go ahead and look at here in real time in just a few minutes there. So yeah, that kind of leads me to it. The time lapse is just about finished up. We're just about finished up with the Flamingo Habitat here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and sign off here, and yeah, once the time lapse is done here in just the next minute or so, we'll go ahead and jump into real time and show you what I've been up to there, and show you the new building and the new area and everything like that. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the real time and see you in just a minute. So here we are in our live section with Thornton Hills Zoo here, and we're making our way into the front gates of the zoo. And as we're making our way up here, I thought I'd mention, for those of you that don't know, we're in a view right now called Tegidcam, Tegidcam. You can rename your staff members this, and it brings you down into basically a guest perspective, where as I'm moving my mouse around, this is controlling like the head basically, or where the camera looks. I can use the mouse wheel to scroll in as well, and you get some really cool perspective shots and stuff like that. So yeah, I know a lot of people are new to the Planet series, so you might not know about that, but there you go. So as we're coming up to the front here, you can start to see off to the right, keen eye will see that you can see some of the new stuff here. And yeah, this is the part of the new structure that we have that replaced the old one. And I had this idea of wanting to make a side entrance, a less used entrance, that was kind of like it would have an old building here attached for like administration. As we get, yeah, you can see administration here, so that'd be where people are working and stuff. And maybe people that come around this side are getting like tickets renewed, like maybe like season passes renewed, or they have to get a picture taken for a season pass, or it's just not as well used. If it's going to be used, it's going to be used by more so like staff members and stuff like that. So, but we'll go in this way, and again, you can see used a lot of that classic brick. I wanted this to be one of the older buildings in the zoo. Welcome, hello. So we come around the corner here, and then you start to see this new building here. Again, sorry I didn't get any time lapse of this. I was just kind of building on a whim, and by the time I was halfway through it, I was like, oh shoot, I'm not recording. But so I just kind of kept building. But it's nothing too dramatic with it. But I just really wanted to incorporate this kind of older brick style with it. So again, this will be one of the older buildings of the zoo. So and yeah, it's the zoo gift shop, the official one of them at least. Notice there's usually like one or two gift shops as you come into when you're going through a zoo. So yeah, there's the zoo gift shop there, and we'll get a nice, better close-up look of the Flamingo Habitat here as we're coming up. Did a little bit of landscape work as well, just right here. Because I don't know if you could tell from the time lapse there, but as we come around here, here's a little bit of a reveal to the lake here, and the lake is going to be a big center point of our zoo. We want to put habitats around all the lake and stuff like that, so we'll really use that. But love all the foliage that we get with that. I mean, it's been mentioned a million times, but bravo Frontier on the Planet Zoo team for the foliage that we have in game. It is magnificent, and I love the varieties and stuff. So, but anyways, I mentioned we're going to look at flamingos, and oh look at they're all sleepings there. So in the meantime, I've used a in-game blueprint, a Frontier-made blueprint there. It works pretty okay. I might switch it up for something later on, but honestly, it gets the job done, and I don't really mind it. So it kind of works. But anyways, yeah, here's a close-up look there of our Flamingo Habitat. Again, based very much so on the San Diego Zoo's Flamingo Habitat. But yeah, really, really like how this has turned out so far. Let's get a close up there of one of our flamingos. Can't remember how many there are. I think there's 8, 4, and 4 so far. We have room for some more flamingos in there, so we might keep putting in more flamingos. I was looking up their Zoopedia. Oh, there he goes, doing the classic. I was looking in their Zoopedia, and these guys they live up to almost 50 years. First off, didn't know that. That's really interesting. And they can also have up to like over 100 in their pack or something, or herd, or I'm not sure what you'd call it, but yeah, just an insane amount of flamingos can be together. So we might just kind of keep doing that, where we keep pushing the boundaries of how many flamingos we can put in this habitat here. All the females have contraceptives, just because it started to get a little bit out of hand. They started to really get down to business, as it were. So I kind of had to put a halt to that, because I think we're gonna have some babies on the way soon. But anyways, yeah, that's the Flamingo Habitat there real quick. And let me go back out here. I think this is the only little area that I didn't show off. This is just a little viewing sit down area over here. So there you go. So yeah, again, that's our little Flamingo Habitat. Nothing too special about it. Might do some other little perks and works on it, depending on y'all's feedback. What do you think of it? Is there anything else that we could add to make it a little bit more, I guess, I don't know, realistic or just better looking? What do you think there? And again, this is the zoo in real time. So far, have the starts of our kind of backstage entrance areas over here. Not sure if this is all going to stay right here. This plot of land is open for a food area. We're going to put down a restaurant right over this way. And that's why I'm saying this stuff might not stay, because it might make the restaurant a little bit bigger. So, but yeah, this is how the zoo is shaping up so far. And yeah, we're definitely going to need a bigger parking lot. I can tell you that much right now. But that's fine. The parking lot's an easy thing to expand, and we can just make it go down this way and expand out this way. That's no problem there. So all good, all good. But hey, let's go ahead and head out of here. Let's get a pretty picture, pretty view as we're coming down to leave it there. There we go. Oh, so pretty, right? So perfect. Hey, if this is your first time hanging out with us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button there. Stay up to date with all the fun things that we're doing with Planet Zoo. And also hit the like button. Helps the channel, helps the video out immensely there. So, hey, thanks so much everyone for hanging out. And until the next episode of Thornton Hills Zoo, have a good one.